more often. And so let's talk about this particular scenario. Let's talk about where the reference point is, and is he moving at a upward slope or a downward slope, and what is our evidence for that? So with the blue, who is ever in charge of my zoom out? Go ahead and zoom out. This is the moving man. Zoom out as far as you can. Out is big. Okay, this is our moving man. Let's say, can a house be our point of reference?
Yes, it can.
Monse, tell me, why can a house be a point of reference?
Because if you're going towards.
Okay, I like that, but there's a specific word that defines a point of reference. There's a specific word, and tell me what that word means, Christian.
It's like the opposite of mobile.
It is the opposite of mobile. Who can help him out?
Stationary.
What is it?
Stationary.
Stationary. What does stationary mean?
Oh,
It's not moving. So if the house is not moving, and that is his point of reference, and he is moving towards it, he's moving towards the point of reference, is that a upward slope or a downward slope?
downward.
What's your evidence? What's your evidence of that? What makes you think that? Clarissa.
It's a downward slope because you're going to the reference point.
You're going to the reference. Tell me how that affects the numbers.
The numbers decrease.
The numbers decrease. Are we all in agreement with that? All in agreement with that?
Yes.
All right. Now let's move this reference point. Now the tree is going to be our reference point. How can the tree be a reference point? Why is the tree a reference point? Miguel, I haven't heard from you today.
It's not moving.
Is what? What?
It's not moving.
It's not moving. What is that word? We need a big scientific word. Use your scientific vocabulary. It's what?
Stationary.
It is stationary. What does stationary mean?
That is not moving.
That it's not moving. So he's moving away from the reference point. What I need you to do now is I need you to think in your think groups and give me evidence on if it's an upward slope or a downward slope and why. All right, your time starts now. Go.
The numbers are decreasing.
All right. Class?
Yes.
All right. He's moving away from the new reference point. Away. I love that you're sketching it out. I truly believe in CSI visualization. So he's moving away from the tree. Which way is the slope moving? Is it moving upward or downward? And give me your evidence. Ooh, and yellow. I hadn't heard from you today.
It's an upward slope because it's moving away from the reference.
And what correlation does that have to do with the numbers? The numbers are increasing. Does anybody disagree with that? We all agree? How about you, Edith? You agree? All right. Let's move on. I think y'all have that one. Okay. Now we need to know, what is the point of intercept? Intercept. We have talked about that, and we need to know where two things intersect. We have talked about, I'm going to give you a hint. There is and there's cars. Y'all know Miss Moore can't drive. I mean, I can't drive. Y'all know I can't draw. That's your hint. What do you think the point of intersection is? All right? Think about it. Now talk in your think groups and give evidence on why you think that.
It's like they do like
Where they do what? I'm gonna call on you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Good response. Okay, Miguel, I love the way you said that. What do you think how do you interpret a graph? And tell me what an intersection means.
Intersect means when two lines meet together or get crossed.
Okay, so let me ask you this. With this distance graph, what is the point of intersection? What is that called? Somebody other than Miguel. Think about it. And Clarissa.
it can be like the tipping, like
It is the tip, but what is it called? Tell me what they do what, Miguel?
When they meet,
When they meet. And where do they come together at? They come together right here, right? What is that called? Monse. The reference point. What number correlates with reference point? 0. Is it 1 0 there or 2 zeros? 2 zeros. What is always on a distance graph? What's always on the x-axis? What's always on the x-axis? Y'all talk in your think groups and just make sure we know. What, all right, that's right, and we sum that up, I call them what? That's right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Raphael, what is always on the x-axis?
Today will be present day,
Mhm.
yesterday is the past, tomorrow is going to be the future.
I love how you said that. And how do we sum all that up in one word?
Time.
That is correct. It is time. Good job, Raphael. Give me 5 on that one. All right. And what is this one? What's on the y-axis? What's on the y-axis? Edith,
distance.
tell me more about distance.
It's when in distance you put the numbers so you could tell if they're going fast or slow.
Ooh, I like that if they're going fast or slow. Thank you. That's excellent. Mr. Rodarte.
You use meters.
It does use meter. Tell me more about that.
Sometimes miles, kilometers.
I love that. Good job. Good job. So we know how to interpret. What does this word interpret mean? If we use our CSI skills, what does the word interpret mean? How many people in here are bilingual? Okay. Have you ever had to interpret for anyone? Have you ever had to interpret? So use that context clue, talk to your teammates, and see if you can figure out what the word interpret means in that sentence. Okay, go. How would you explain the word interpret? When you interpret for someone, what do? You translate. And why do you translate? Now they understand the language. But math and science is a language. So you have to be able to read it and explain it. All right, so we'll have to call it. All right. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Monse, when we interpret a graph, tell me about what that means.
You read it and then you explain it.
You explain it. Has anybody in here, once again, when you interpret, what happens in that situation? Do you ever explain anything? Tell me.
Now you get nervous or jelly?
You do get nervous, I do agree with that, but what happens in that interaction? Yes, you translate, and why are you translating? Tell me more about that.
Because you're like, explaining something in like a different way.
Oh, you explain it a different way. I like how you said that, Miguel.
So they can understand?
So they can understand, that's the bottom line. You break it down, so you explain it in a different way, so they can understand. That is a good team effort. So is this a way we can understand information?
Yes.
That's why we do graphs, so we can take a lot of information and understand it. So let's move on to the next one. Now we want to talk about speed. We can also put speed on here. Why would we want to know how fast something is really going? Why would we want to know how fast something is really going? Think about that. Why would we want to know? Remember when we talked about earlier about when we used to ride our bicycles and we knew we were going 100 miles per hour and we were racing that car? Why would it be beneficial for us to know how fast we're going? Why? Okay, go ahead and think about it. Now, I need you to get up and find someone at a different table and tell them your answer.
Yeah.
I think you need to know the speed so you can find the distance because time divided by distance. Speed equals distance. Yeah. Distance divided by speed. Speed times time. Speed times time equals distance. That's what I was trying to
All right, we're back together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who has an answer that somebody told them they thought was really, really interesting? Okay, who haven't I heard from? Miguel, I've heard from you. Rochelle, I'm going to call on you. I've only heard from you once today. Rochelle, who did you talk to? Alexia. Alexia? Okay, what answer did Alexia give you?
She said that it would be fun just how you said, and that you for this you could replace speed for distance because you would want to know how fast or how slow it's going.
Mm-hmm. And tell me why that would be important to know.
Because if you're
Okay, everybody go back to their seats. I'm going to come back to you. Miss Bright, we're going to give everybody 2 more seconds. 1 and 2. Ooh, y'all made it. Miss Bright, why would that be important to know? Give me your loud voice like you're talking in the hallway. Because you want to know how long you took. How many people is it important to know how long it takes to get from your house to Uplift Mighty? Why is that important? Why is that important to know? Somebody I have not heard from today. Edith, why is that important to know?
Because if you live 30 minutes away, for example, you could get ready 30 minutes before and then leave at 30 minutes to get here on time.
Tell me more about how that would help your life.
If you're running late somewhere, you could take a shortcut and not take the long way.
Ooh, so it allow you to think outside the box. I like that. Okay, one more question for sake of time.
So you won't be late to school?
Okay, tell me more about that.
Because if you like go out late, you might, you know the light that it doesn't work, it takes too long?
The light takes too long, okay? And why would it be good to know the speed and time? Why would that, how does that correlate with that? How does that tie back?
So you need to get earlier, you need to come early to school, like, I'm not just planning for
But you need to come a little earlier. You need to prepare maybe a little earlier? Okay, I like that. One more, I've talked to y'all, and Mom said,
Can I add something?
yes.
I think it will help your life more because if you get to school late, then you might get some information.
I love how you said that. So is knowing how to calculate speed and time and distance, is that beneficial to our lives? It's not just something we learn in a class, right? All right. So another word, we're going to learn how, somebody read this to me. Somebody other than y'all. Jesus.
How are velocity time graphs different from distance time graphs?
All right. So velocity and speed are very similar. So tell me, how are these different? How are these different? How do y'all think these are different? Think on it for a quick second. I want you to take time to get your thoughts together.